Oh yeah, it's time to get your streaming devices ready. Load them up and press play. It's time to Netflix and chill with Tom and Reuben.
Yeah, I'm pissed.
Well, maybe because the new season's starting.
I don't. It's all off though.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of pisses me off because I could always watch It's Always Sunny.
Well, I mean, you could go onto the their FX
app and get it there. Yeah.
So anyway, hey, I'm Reuben.
And I'm Tom.
And let's Netflix
What's
and chill the
going on?
motherfucking whatnot.
What?
Sorry, we're about a half a beer in already.
I know, and I think it's going to only get worse. I've had a very long week.
Yeah, it usually does. For a 4-day week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, poppers. I took last week off. It was a holiday, and I didn't have any guest lines up anyway, so I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to take a week off.
Just take the week off.
Yeah, I didn't put up any notification on it either. I'm just like, I'm done.
There you
Done
go.
for the week.
There you go.
I need something, just to relax.
Yeah.
So we're recording. It's Friday night.
It is Friday night. We're recording and we're drinking. And I was listening to our last episode recently with when we did Extinction.
Yes.
And I realized I use the word fuck a lot.
Yeah, well, we both do.
Wow.
Yeah.
I fucking swear a fucking lot. Man. It's like a regular word. It just kind of rolls off my tongue.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
I was thinking about it.
It's like that scene in the South Park movie where Mr. Mackey's singing the song about "Don't say fuck."
Oh, don't say fuck.
We shouldn't say fuck. No, we shouldn't say fuck. Fuck no. The movie's fucking brilliant.
It's pretty good.
So yeah, this week.
So this episode we were doing, I had picked Life After Beth.
Mm-hmm. So if you haven't watched it, we're gonna spoil it.
We're gonna spoil it, but I don't know how much there is to spoil. It's pretty. This is pretty basic. This is pretty straightforward.
It's
It's a dark comedy, I guess. You
Definitely
could call
a
it.
dark comedy. This is way more of a dark comedy than that bullshit Creep.
Oh yeah. Well, Creep, I don't think was meant, like you said, wasn't meant to be a dark comedy.
Yeah, no, it was originally
it was,
intended, but I like. You know how you said that Creep made you feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
For me, like the first few episodes of The Office that I've seen have made me feel uncomfortable.
Made you feel uncomfortable. Well, that's because
it's supposed
Carell he's so. I think that character, he's supposed to make you feel like, oh my God, is this a real person? I can't even.
And the sad thing is, we all know people like that.
Yeah, I've worked with people like that.
In an office, no
right,
less.
in an office.
But like. Sorry, we're going to diverge from the actual topic here because I have to talk about this.
Go ahead.
So, in the latter episodes, as opposed to the first season, like the first season, he's overweight. It looks like they've made it so that his hair is thinning.
Right.
But after that, like in the episodes later on, he's not as heavy. His hair is not thinning out. Like, did they just completely think maybe this look isn't working for him?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it probably went through. It went through that same thing. A lot of television shows, I think, go through that where like they go through the first season and they try and figure out, well, what are the characters? What are the people that we're going to try and sell here?
Right.
And I'm not sure. In watching, and it's been a while since I watched The Office, and it's certainly been a while since I watched the first season of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
I passed out on the couch last night watching it.
I'm not sure Carell was the guy who they were trying to sell as the main character of the show.
I think they're trying to sell Dwight.
I think it was going to either be Dwight or Jim originally, and then when Carell's character, when the Michael Scott character became Michael Scott and everybody loved him, I think that's when they decided, like after the first season or somewhere in it. It feels to me, having watched The Office, that like the original idea was, here's this love story between these two office people, Pam and Jim. Mm-hmm. And then it was it felt like kind of an afterthought where, okay, maybe we should really make this a lot about Steve Carell and a lot about Michael Scott.
Well, wasn't it right around that time period, too, that Steve Carell was blowing the fuck up? Wasn't the 40-Year-Old Virgin just before or during?
I think he did, I want to say he did the 40-Year-Old Virgin, and he did, what is it? This whatever Almighty, Evan Almighty. I want to say he did those during his run on The Office.
Okay.
I think.
Right.
I'd have to look up the dates, and to be honest, I'm not interested enough to look it up right now.
Neither am I.
Somebody out there will look it up.
Yeah.
And they'll figure it out, and they'll send it back. You wrong, you dumb fuck.
Nah, nobody ever responds to this. I honestly for everybody that downloads and listens, I love you guys, but I'd love for you guys to reach out to us as well. And there are many ways that you can do that. One of them is being on our Facebook page. Hey, just you can just go on there and say, "Hey, fucko," and just say whatever you want, and I'll read it on the air. I don't care. Or, you can email us directly at popgoulash@gmail.com or popgoulash42@gmail.com. Or, you could tweet us at popgoulash, or you can hit me up on Instagram at pop_goulash_podcast. Or you could call me on the phone line that I can't ever remember the name. One of these days, I'm going to write it all out on a 5x8 card. I'm going to stick it on the wall right there.
What I was doing,
what the fucking number is.
Yeah.
So, actually, you know what? It's sad because it's right here. The number is 224-325-4235. I have a Post-it on my laptop.
I have one on my laptop, but it's not that number. It's the other one.
Yeah,
it's
for your old show.
Right, the other thing, the other one I was doing.
So, yeah, that's 224-325-4235. We'd love you to
So call and tell me I'm an idiot.
Or me too.
Or Reuben. Or say, better yet, say you're both idiots.
Right.
And here's why.
Hey, we're adults. We can handle it.
Right.
We won't make you burn Nikes on your feet or anything.
No. What a bunch of... I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into it. I don't even want to get into stupidity anymore. I'm just done.
Done with dumb people.
Done with dumb people. I can't handle it anymore.
It's like, did you watch that comedy special, the Tom Segura?
Yes.
Dude, when he's in between bits and he's like, don't you just hate everybody? Dude, I love that.
Okay, we're still
We'll get to the movie,
topic.
So fuck you. We'll get to the movie.
Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura might be, without Bill Burr doing anything, and I really love Sebastian Maniscalco.
I've never seen any of his stand-up
stuff. I love
stuff.
his stuff. But, he's from Arlington Heights.
Is he really?
Yeah. But I think Kreischer and what's
Tom
his name? Segura are the two funniest stand-ups going right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fucking hysterical.
Dude, secret time.
Secret time.
When I get out of the shower, I dry my asshole on the bed.
It's fucking awesome.
Sometimes
if you haven't seen Bert Kreischer's latest
Secret Time,
his latest stand-up on Netflix, you have to go watch it. And then, of course, go back and rewatch all of Kreischer's other ones and all of Segura's and just laugh your ass off.
Bernd Kreisler only has one other comedy special.
Is it just one? I thought it was two.
No, he's got two specials.
Got the two out there?
One of them is on Showtime though, and that's The Machine.
Okay.
And that's when he tells the story about getting wrapped up in
the machine, right?
Oh god, that's a great story.
Right.
And then, but Tom's got like 4 or 5 specials up on Netflix.
Well, you've seen Bert Kreischer's video that he did for the Speedo thing, right?
Oh yeah,
fucking hysterical.
Yeah, because that was up on Instagram. I was really heavy following him when all that stuff was going on.
Laughed so hard I almost pissed my pants. Yeah,
I mean, he's all about the Speedos, man.
Somebody did it. Somebody took that video and did a Joe Rogan Experience thing where they overlaid that video while Joe Rogan was talking about a video of chimps.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And he's like, "Oh, look at this motherfucker," and Rogan's there going, "Look at this fucker! Look at his fucking balls hanging down." Jeez, and Kreischer's standing there with the Speedo on. It's fucking great. If you haven't seen it, it's on Instagram somewhere. It's like the Joe Rogan. It's one of those Joe Rogan fan pages.
Yeah. That's hilarious. All right. So anyway.
All right, Life After Beth. Let's get into it.
Let's get into this shit.
Life After Beth, 5 points. I think it was 5.6 or something on IMDb. I don't know what it was on Rotten Tomatoes. I didn't look it up.
I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes.
I know.
They mean nothing to me.
I've grown to realize that I think the only one that really matters is IMDb. It seems to be closer than anything else. Yeah, and this was Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, sweet Aubrey Plaza.
You a big fan?
I got a thing for Aubrey Plaza.
Really?
I really do.
Really?
Yeah, big eyes, olive complexion, real.
Well, she's got the big eyes. She's got
smarmy as
same
shit.
as what's her name? Lizzie Camp.
Yeah.
She's got those big eyes. Yeah.
And just smarmy as all hell.
Yeah. And you you get the feeling that she's that way in real life too.
Oh yeah.
Where she'll come back with a one-liner, tell you to shove it up your ass kind of thing. Yeah.
But not so much in this movie. She's not very smarmy in this movie.
No, in this this is her and John C. Reilly, and I don't know who the guy who plays her boyfriend is.
He was in Chronicle.
Yes, I've seen him in.
He's been in a couple things. He actually if I'm not mistaken, didn't he play John Connor in something in one of the Terminators?
He might have in one of the Terminator shorts or something like that. I don't know.
Actually, I think maybe
was it in one of the main films?
I think he was in the last Terminator.
Could have been
Genesis. I think he was in Genesis.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I did not see Terminator Genesis.
Genesis
so.
wasn't bad. Salvation, I hear, was dog shit. I don't know. I went to the drive-in to see it, fell asleep.
Oh. You have that habit.
I have that habit at movies.
You've been doing that a lot lately.
I've been doing that forever lately.
Is that just something that's coming with the old age? Or
No, dude, that's just
with fatherhood?
me. That's just me, dude. Before it was weed, now it's just tired. I'm just an old man. God damn it, Billy.
Sometimes the weed keeps me up.
Oh, see, I don't even know anything about any of that. So
I'll tell you, I get fucking.
Well, you got a connection now.
Well, I have a couple connections, but yeah, I got fucking. Well, the last time I got fucking paranoid as all hell, man. And I haven't had that happen since college. And
That's funny.
I was like fucking like shit. What the fuck? What was that a noise? What the fuck was that a noise?
You're like running around your house putting tape
crazy,
over all the
man.
eyes in the pictures. Why is everybody looking at me?
It was nuts. Yeah. Oof. But.
So,
all right.
Anyway,
so
back to the lab again.
Back to the movie. You can tell how exciting this movie was by how eager we are to talk about it. And this was my choice.
I enjoyed the movie.
I did enjoy it. I'm disappointed though because I've had a number of picks now that I feel like were less than thrilling. But anyway, so this is John C. Reilly, Aubrey Plaza, the guy from Chronicle, whatever his name is.
Oh, and what's her name from Saturday Night Live?
There's a few people.
Not Rachel Drescher.
No,
Sherry, not Sherry O'Terry. The other one.
The other one. She plays Aubrey Plaza's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So John C. Reilly plays Aubrey. Ruben's going to look it up. Oh, wait, I got it right here.
Yeah, you got it up.
Molly Shannon.
Molly Shannon. Yes,
right.
yes.
So Molly Shannon, Aubrey Plaza. His name is Dane DeHaan.
Yes.
John C. Reilly.
He was also,
Cheryl Hines is in this as well.
Yes, she was.
Paul Reiser's in this as well. There's a big Anna Kendrick is in this.
Yes.
There's actually a pretty big cast. Yeah, Anna Kendrick. Yeah, that's.
But she was only in it for a very, very short
very
time.
short time. Very big.
Actually,
character.
a lot of everybody that you named, with the exception of like John C. Reilly, Aubrey Plaza, and Dane, are pretty small characters.
Yeah. Most of them are. Yeah,
they just kind of breeze in and breeze out.
They kind of come in and come out, and
but they're strong plot point characters.
Yeah. So this movie opens with Aubrey Plaza's, and her Beth obviously is her name. Her funeral.
Yeah.
And the boyfriend and everybody, of course, is torn up, and she apparently was bit by a. Was she bit by a snake or a spider?
Yeah,
or something?
it was a snake.
I think it was a
I think it was a
snake or
snake.
something. It's irrelevant how she died, but it opens with her funeral, and it is clear that the boyfriend is completely broken up and distraught about this. But he has a pretty good relationship with John C. Reilly,
with
her
the family,
father, with the family, and he visits the house a few times, and he doesn't have a real good relationship. It seems like with his own parents.
No,
it's kind of a shitty home situation, and
right.
so. It's just, this was one of those movies that I kind of felt like, as I was watching it, I kind of just felt like, all right, I know where this is going now, and it's like, it's good, and it's okay, and there's a couple of laughs, but let's just get there. Because I wasn't ever really thrilled, and I wasn't ever really like sitting on a scene waiting to see what would happen. Only at the beginning. Very
figure
early.
out what the fuck is going on.
Very early, trying to figure out what was going on. I think, though, it was kind of spoiled because you knew it was a zombie movie.
Right, yeah. So, spoilers, it's a zombie movie.
Part of the description tells you it's a zombie movie.
Yeah.
Which I think would have been better if I didn't know, because this kid is coming to visit the house on a number of occasions to visit.
Ends up smoking a joint with
Aubrey
John C.
Plaza.
Reilly.
Ends up smoking a joint and playing chess with John C. Reilly, which I would love to smoke a joint and play chess with John C. Reilly.
God damn, you're right. This is delicious.
I know it is.
We're drinking a Voodoo Ranger Juicy Haze IPA.
And I'm a big fan of all the Rangers. All the Ranger
New Belgium
IPAs.
breweries.
The New Belgiums, yeah.
Oh, it's India Pale Ale with spice.
With spice, and yes.
So is it
very good.
sporty, baby, scary, or posh? Or ginger?
Were there that many Spice Girls?
There were 5 of them.
Oh, God. I don't even remember that. Which one is on that show now?
Which show?
Isn't one of them on
America's
Got Talent?
Yeah, it's Scary.
That's Scary Spice?
Yeah. Okay. Also known as Eddie Murphy's baby mama.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought Eddie Murphy was gay.
No.
Is that the rumor?
He's just crushing ass all over the place.
Oh, all right.
He's indiscriminate.
He just doesn't. He just okay.
He's just, hey, I'm horny. I'm horny. I'm gonna pile some ass. I don't care. I'm polysexual. Or
I don't even know what that means.
I had to do some research about all the designations because I wasn't quite sure what everything meant.
Oh, okay. I don't know what any of it means.
Right.
I'm quite honestly too old to give a shit at this point in my life. I don't. Whatever.
Pansexual.
Listen, man. Just do your thing.
Right.
I don't really care. I'm
You do
good.
you, baby.
You do you. I'm gonna do me, and we'll be fine.
Right. Anyway,
so the kid ends up going to the house on a number of occasions, and at one point he ends up going to the house, and he sees Beth through the window.
Through the window, yeah.
He kind of goes up to the house.
Yeah, because they weren't answering the phone.
They weren't answering the door. They weren't answering the phone. So he thinks there's something wrong. So he goes to the house, and he kind of goes around to the side of the house. Then he's peeking in the windows to see if anyone's home, and he sees Beth walking through the hallway.
And of course,
like,
he
what
shits
the
a brick.
Fuck yeah. So then, and I forget. It's been a couple weeks since I watched it, but I forget if I think he goes home at that point, like he goes and ends up banging on the door, and nobody lets him in.
Right.
And then he goes home and he comes back the next day and he sees Beth again through the window, and this
then
is
he
when
gets in.
John C. Reilly finally lets him in and tells him, "But you can't tell anybody. She just showed up one day."
Right. With the memory of the day that she died, right before she died.
So she has no idea she died.
She thinks she's got this massive test coming up.
Right.
And blah 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 blah.
Right. Well, they tell her. So this was what was fucked up, is because this actually was pretty good, because it's the middle of summer.
Yeah.
And she keeps talking about how, well, no, I got to stay home and I got to study. I can't go out because I got this huge test tomorrow. And it's like, and the kid looks and he's like, it's summer. And John C. Reilly goes, "No, she's got a big test tomorrow. She can't leave the house."
Right.
It's like, and then you kind of put it together, like, okay, oh yeah, no, she can't leave the house because everyone thinks she's dead, and
right.
if she just shows up, like, holy fuck.
Mm-hmm. It's also almost very like 50 First Dates about it.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like, we don't want to fuck her, like, her head to explode.
Right. Let's not tell her she's
Let's
dead.
not tell the dead girl she's dead.
Right. So then this thing, and it kind of just progresses from there as this now this kid has a chance to, which I thought was actually kind of cool. This kid has a chance to tell her all the things he wanted to tell her.
Before
he realized he didn't tell her.
Yeah.
Like how much he loves her, how much he cared about her, and this and that. I thought the whole thing was a little weird because he looks so young in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He really looked like he was about 19, and Aubrey Plaza looks like she's 25, 28 years old. I thought that was kind of strange that,
mm-hmm.
like, how are you this in love, dude? You're like 12.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Dude, but think about it. Like, your first real girlfriend in high school, dude, that's some serious intense.
Yes.
Like, that first love is, like, hardcore.
Well, and let's be honest, if Aubrey Plaza was putting out, you'd really be in love.
Which, as we find out, zombies are randy as fuck.
Yes, that's part of the movie. Part of the whole thing is that Aubrey Plaza, Beth, is now extremely horny.
Well, I think it's
all
like
the time.
All of her appetites are ramped to
everything
9.
goes. Yeah. It's kind of yeah.
Yeah. So, like, but like throughout the movie, she gets progressively, like, you would never know that she was a zombie.
Well, early on, you'd never know she was a zombie, but she does start acting fucking weird.
Yeah,
like when she starts living in the attic and covers it in mud.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she gets progressively
strange.
and progressively more and more and more zombie-esque. Like, she comes out of the, like, they go back to her grave, there's a big fucking hole in the ground.
Right.
And, like, they're like, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
But, like, she looks just like, she's fine.
Well, she starts to develop, and then throughout the course of the relationship kind of rekindling, and she's still staying at home, although he's kind of sneaking her out, she starts to develop these little sores,
little ticks and stuff
that you start seeing, and it's like you start, and like I said, I think this would have been better if I didn't know it was a zombie movie coming in, and if I was wondering what the fuck is wrong with her.
So, like, if they would have just cut out the funeral scene at the beginning, maybe.
Yeah, like maybe cut the funeral scene out, or even if I didn't know that it was a zombie movie. You could have showed me the funeral scene, and I just didn't know that she was a zombie. And I thought, like, because I could see at some point, you know, although it was kind of, like I said, it's kind of it's in that dark comedy genre. So I don't think
definitely.
I'd ever have that. I probably wouldn't have ever fallen into that. Is she a fucking, you know, is she an alien? Is she what is she? You know, you probably never fall into that. You probably would still consider it you'd probably still be going down the zombie route, even if
True.
you didn't know. But
yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, so it's like, it gets to like, it's this whole thing of like, all right, do I sneak her out of the house? No, she can't go out of the house. Do we get her out of the house? And then they finally were like, fuck it, I'm going out of the house. And he starts driving her around like Miss Daisy.
Driving her around, and then, and there's this other, then what's her name? The other girl.
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick.
She kind of comes in, like he runs into her at a restaurant.
He
and
runs
they start
into her
kind of talking, just friendly.
Yeah, well, and she knows that Beth died, and she tells him, "I'm really sorry."
Right.
But it's clear that she's got a thing for this kid.
Well, I think they're of college age.
Yes,
I think that's what it is. They're of college age because she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm off here and I'm coming. I'm just back home for the summer and yada yada yada."
Yeah.
And they sit down at like, because there was a point where like Aubrey started going, Beth started going crazy
when they're in the parking lot. I was just going to mention.
Well, no, before that, that's why he ended up at the coffee shop.
Oh, right.
Because he can't take it anymore.
Right, because she's
a level 9 clinger at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy how hardcore she's clinging to him.
Yeah.
And, like, did you notice that, like, there was this running motif of smooth jazz throughout the movie?
Yes.
And it was the only thing that would calm her the fuck down. Like, she would start, like just totally escalating, and, like, you'd put on, like, Kenny G, and she would chill the fuck out.
Yes. which actually was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny.
I mean, the movie throughout has I don't want to give the impression that it's not a good movie. It is good. It's not great.
It's watchable.
It's watchable and it's good. It's funny throughout. There are good laughs throughout. John C. Reilly is, I think, one of the better characters in the movie.
Yeah.
Because
he's a conflicted father.
Right. And plus he has these goofy, like he just has these goofy lines in it where it's like he's John C. Reilly.
Right.
And so you do end up laughing, and it is funny, but
it's just a dark indie comedy. It's a complete indie comedy. I think I don't even recall it being released, quite frankly.
I don't ever remember it being released.
I don't think
it's not a Netflix original.
No, it's not. I don't think it was a direct to video. I think it probably had a small release. But yeah, I don't remember it coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember it coming out at all. I don't remember seeing it at theaters or anything, or even any ads for it or anything.
Right.
I in fact, when it showed up on Netflix, I had never even heard of it before.
Right.
And it just showed up, at the top of my list, or top of my recommendations, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? It's zombies. It's John C. Reilly. It's Aubrey Plaza. Yeah,
right.
I'll watch this.
Yeah. So
she goes nuts.
Yeah, she goes she starts freaking out on him in the parking lot, and at this point, she's like visibly fucked up.
Yes, she's clearly at this point clearly a zombie, and everybody knows she's a zombie.
Right? Well, no, not everybody. Like,
the boyfriend and John C. Reilly,
dad,
and everybody knows that she's a zombie. Like,
right.
we get it now. She's dead, and she's
because what had happened was he had told her she was dead.
Right,
and she had a fucking meltdown over it.
Well, she had a meltdown over being dead, but the better meltdown was when she lost her shit on Anna Kendrick in the parking lot.
And all they were doing was talking.
Because the guy and Anna Kendrick, the kid, whatever his name was, and Don, whatever, and Anna Kendrick are just eating lunch in this diner, and he walks out at the back door.
And you see her like skulking by.
Right.
And she sees him.
She sees him. And that's when Anna Kendrick comes out of the restaurant to talk to this kid again.
Hey, how's it going? Hey,
oh, yeah. And she Aubrey Plaza loses her shit.
And starts calling her, fuck you, cunt.
Yeah.
And all kinds of shit.
Just
like,
going ape shit on her. And that was pretty funny. This whole thing, it's kind of for me, it was all very disjointed, but it was a lot of funny disjointed scenes that were just kind of like, okay, I know, like I said earlier, I know where you're going, I get it.
And then dude's grandparents show up at his house, and they're
God.
like, Paul Reiser's like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I will say the third act of this movie was
bonkers,
fucking really, really good.
Yeah.
Because so
all the dead people start rising.
Yes,
but you know what I enjoyed about it? It wasn't anything nuclear.
No,
it wasn't like a virus or whatever. They just happened to start rising. They never really mentioned why it happened.
No, they didn't. And what I love about that the most is the original Night of the Living Dead
was much the same way.
This is that's the exact same. It may as well have been the same exact.
But
act.
The difference is though, like when the dead were coming out of the grave, they were conscious. And they
in this
movie, yes, they were conscious. Right. They could carry on a conversation with you, all of that. And like the weird part was like that one, like the one zombie, like he's trying to track down the voodoo lady.
Yes,
because they think that's what they thought it was. They thought it was some kind of voodoo curse, and because it was, Beth's. Was it her housekeeper that just quit?
It was her housekeeper that had just quit, and
she was Haitian.
And when she was Haitian, and he goes to the apartment to find her, and the brother or something is there going, "Oh yeah, the one Haitian that you know is into voodoo. Is that how this works?"
And he's like, "Yeah," and then like this zombie comes up, and she's completely naked.
Yeah.
And but she has the autopsy scars. So they have no guts whatsoever.
Right.
They have been exhumed. They have been literally gutted.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck is going on? Because then it was after that point that the hunger started. From point to point, she started saying I'm so hungry, and I can't remember what they were trying to feed her at that point.
Well. I don't remember if they were giving her raw meat or something, but that's where it does end up getting really dark at the end, because you find out, mom's dead.
No, dad.
Or dad. Yeah, John C. Reilly end up dying.
Yeah, and then Molly
because
Shannon,
Aubrey Plaza ate him.
Yeah, and Molly Shannon kept feeding her hand.
Right, parts of her fingers and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
While playing smooth jazz and having her and this is this is nearing the end of the movie where shit is just awry. The dead are just rising up all over the place. The brothers,
boyfriend's brother's running around with
I thought
his fucking.
it was the boyfriend's
with
brother.
His
with his Desert Eagles.
His Desert Eagles shooting zombies.
He's got his own zombie death squad.
It's why I really enjoyed the end of this, the third act. Well, so getting into the third act, so you get to the point where the boyfriend shows up at the house, and Molly Shannon has Aubrey Plaza tied to the stove
in chains.
And she's chained up to the stove because she figures she can't pick up the stove and start walking around. And
so what does
people.
She do?
She already ate Dad.
She gets up and picks up the
stove and she starts walking around. Well, the reason she does it is because the boyfriend convinces Aubrey Plaza, we're gonna go on a hike.
Yeah,
because that's through the whole movie.
All she wanted to do.
All Aubrey Plaza wanted to do was go on a hike.
Take a hike with me. Take a hike with
me.
Right.
So the boyfriend had talked to his brother previously and borrowed the Desert Eagle because the brother had said look, you gotta do this. You gotta. So Aubrey Plaza, Beth, and the boyfriend go on this hike, and the whole time she's hiking with this oven tied to her back, she's bent over and dragging this oven.
Hey.
Yeah. It's just
I'm so hungry. Hungry.
And the boyfriend's there walking, and you can just see in his face he's completely conflicted about. I've got to kill her because let's be honest,
she's a fucking zombie.
She's a fucking zombie carrying an oven on her back. It was just, and that whole scene, and plus then the whole world is going crazy around them. Like you said, the dead are all over the place now at this point. But then,
and then remember he killed that one dude that was the neighbor, just hey, and he just blows him the fuck away.
The neighbor comes running up, and the brother just shoots him.
Yeah.
Well,
he could have been.
Could have been.
So it finally gets to the point, and there's this big emotional moment. Aubrey Plaza's full on zombied out, fucking goddamn oven on her back.
Oh my god,
and he has this really emotional moment, and he ends up shooting her.
It was. I will say that scene. It was hard to connect to any character in this movie because it just isn't that kind of movie. But that scene was. It was rather. You kind of felt it.
You felt bad for him.
You felt bad for this kid because it's you really knew how much he loved her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
After she came back, even before she had come back, after she you really knew this kid was just a wreck.
Oh yeah,
and now knowing that she had come back, I mean, I can't even imagine. What that would be like to lose somebody, have them back, and then realize, oh, but you're back to eat me.
Right.
I'm gonna.
But you got to think about it. She has no internal organs. You could bang her, no worries about children.
No worried about kids. She's not going to get pregnant. It's just, right.
Well,
yeah.
But you got to figure.
The only thing you got to worry about is her eating you.
Yeah, but at that point, she was when she was all insatiable. There was no eating involved.
No. But she was living in the attic and covering it in mud.
Yeah, that was weird.
And that was never really explained either.
No. They kept her in the attic just so if people came by, they.
No, she liked the attic.
Was it that?
Remember, she liked the attic.
Oh yeah.
Because when they show up back at the house and the grandparents show up dead. They're the grandfather was I gotta go to the attic, and
for whatever
and Paul Reiser was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And the kid was like, "They like addicts."
Yeah. With no explanation,
no
as
explanation.
to why, which is fine.
But I like that because
Yeah.
it really kind of goes back to the whole Night of the Living Dead thing. Night of the Living Dead is probably one of the best horror movies of all time.
Sure.
Because I think it left so much out there unexplained. It was
Right.
like there was just this we don't know. We don't know what happened. And I think what was the Stephen King movie?
Pet Cemetery?
No, the one with the machines, the cars.
Maximum Overdrive?
Maximum Overdrive. Not a good movie,
No.
but I think Stephen King was trying. It may have been a good book. I don't know. I didn't read the book.
Actually, I think it was a
Or
movie.
was it a short story? Was it
I think it was a
movie before
short
was a
story,
book?
but I think it was a movie before. And it was the only time Stephen King ever directed a movie either.
Okay. In most cases, Stephen King movies are not very good compared to the books.
Depending on, yeah.
Well,
Misery. Dude, Misery was great.
Misery was really good, but that had a lot to do with the actors.
Yeah.
And I never read Misery. Is not a book I read.
I read Misery. And with the exception of, like, the scene where, like, Kathy Bates smacks him.
I know what she really does.
She hobbles him. She fucking
hobbles
cuts
him.
his
She
fucking leg
cuts
off.
his leg off
And then cauterizes it with a blowtorch.
Yeah, that's fucking
And,
crazy.
and Stephen King described, like, how it smelled.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I could go on about Stephen King.
I
Stephen King fan.
I like old Stephen King. I don't like a lot of his more recent stuff. I'm not a fan of, but I love Pet Cemetery, Salem's Lot, It, The Stand. I think we're just fucking Christine, all fucking unbelievable.
Dude, I'm a
books.
big Dark Tower fan.
Yeah.
Dude, those Dark Tower books are incredible. And
I did really enjoy the movie.
I enjoyed the movie too.
I think what I enjoyed most about the movie was you could go and watch the movie and you get the sense. And I talked with you
We
about
talked
this
about
after
it
we
after
saw
the movie,
it.
yeah.
You get the sense when you're watching it that, like, from the opening scene, you get the sense that, okay, I've walked into a movie that's already started.
Yeah.
Like, there's a story here that I don't know, but you don't really feel like you need to know it.
No.
Within 5 minutes, you kind of get who the characters are, and you can watch the whole movie, and it was really good.
Right.
I did enjoy that movie.
And the cool thing is when you've read the books that lead up to the movie,
yeah.
it just enriches it that much more.
It just makes it that much better.
Yeah, because basically, sorry, I'm swallowing. Spoilers if you haven't read the Dark Tower series or if you haven't seen the Dark Tower movie. But what happens at the end of the last Dark Tower book is that Roland gets to the Dark Tower. He opens the door. He makes his way to the top. And he opens the door at the top of the Dark Tower. And it opens up to the beginning scene of the first book.
Oh, okay.
Except he has one more piece in his utility belt. He has one other thing. So, like, basically, it's a repeating story.
So it's
every
it's
time
a
through the
cyclical
story,
thing. Okay.
he comes back with one more item that he
Interesting.
didn't have prior to that. Until it's almost like a karma type thing.
Yeah.
Where, like,
That's cool.
he keeps, like, repeating the same life over and over and over again until he gets it right.
He's such a great writer.
Oh, yeah, and
he's just
the tendrils of the Dark Tower touch in so many other different books of his, like Salem's Lot, right? The preacher from Salem's Lot shows up in, like, the fifth book
of Dark Tower.
And he's in the book. And then, like different characters, different things, different places, they all tie in. If you go into, like, one of the Dark Tower books, and this is totally, like, fucking batshit from where we were, but, like, if you go into, like, the last Dark Tower book, which was just Dark Tower, it was Dark Tower 7. Like, in the other books by this artist, he'll put a little star or something next to all the books that tie in to, like, what you call it, The Stand.
The Stand.
Randall Flagg.
Such a great book.
Randall Flagg in that,
Yeah.
who basically starts everything in that, is the Man in Black
Oh, okay.
from the Dark Tower
wow.
series,
Okay.
or Matthew McConaughey's character.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, everything
That's
ties in. It, like,
such a good book, man. The Stand. That movie.
have yet to
that
read
movie
it.
fucking blew balls.
Yeah.
Fucking was horrible. That. Yeah. Oh. But he's such a good writer.
He's a great writer.
Where I was going was Maximum Overdrive. Even though it's not a good movie, it does that same kind of thing where it's like, look, this thing happens, and we don't know.
Yeah, it just happened.
And then it just ends, and then it just stops.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in this movie. Is you have this huge climax with him and Beth at this.
Okay, can we
cliff.
talk about that for a second?
Yeah. What are we talking about? What part?
After he shoots her,
Yeah.
and she rolls down the hill,
Yeah.
and you see the leg fall off the mannequin.
Yeah. I know. It was
Like her whole body just explodes as she falls down this hill.
I
And
think that was
laughed.
intentional.
I think it was very intentional.
I think it was very intentional. I think that was all tongue in cheek, and it was very, very.
It's part of the dark comedy.
Yes. Yeah. But you have this huge climax where with the two of them on the side of this cliff, and her strapped with the oven strapped to her back, and he has to shoot her in the head. And then you still have this idea of, okay, that's fine, but we have this zombie apocalypse happening.
Right.
And then it's like he gets back to, I forget whose house his brother, but he gets back to the house, and I forget whose house it was.
It doesn't matter.
It's really irrelevant, but there was this house that was kind of being set up where, like, okay, we're these are all non-zombies here.
It's
we're
a
gonna
staging area.
It's just, right. And then, like, the next day, it's over.
Yeah.
Like, all the zombies are dead.
Right.
And it was just, there's no explanation for why these zombies came out of the grave or what happened or anything like that. It just was over.
It's a plot point.
Right. And I just love that because, like I said, it goes back to, in my opinion, it goes back to Night of the Living Dead, and it's what I think Stephen King was trying to do with Maximum Overdrive with that. I just love that idea of, look, this thing happens, and then it stops, and we don't really know why, and it's just, that's it.
Right.
And I just thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of a cool little nod to the original, the movie that started the whole zombie.
Yeah. And there's a ton of nods.
Genre.
There were a bunch of nods throughout the whole thing. Because they even say, shoot him in the head or take care of the head or something like that. They mention how, like, to take care of the zombies, you have to, like, remove the brain matter.
You have to remove the brain. Yeah.
So,
but yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. I do think, and I will say, and I do want to make mention of this, I do think if you enjoyed this at all, you're gonna like Santa Clarita Diet.
Santa Clarita
better.
Diet, yeah, is good.
It's
a way darker comedy.
It's a way darker comedy, in my opinion. I think Timothy Olyphant. I mean, I could watch Drew Barrymore in pretty much anything. But Timothy Olyphant is so good in it, and
he is that uncomfortable guy trying to do right and make sure everything is taken care of.
He is, in that show, in my opinion, he is better at the John C. Reilly character than John C. Reilly is in this movie.
Well, he's also had 2 seasons to make sure that character works.
To work it, yeah, and it's such a good series. I think it's so well written. It's so
fucking dark,
and
dude.
It's so dark, and yet you're laughing your ass off.
Yeah,
and like and I find myself when I'm watching that show laughing my ass off, and just thinking to myself, I should not be laughing at this, but this is fucking funny as hell,
dude. Is it just me, or is the daughter hot as fuck?
Yeah, she's cute.
Yeah,
she's really cute.
And like the neighbor,
she's young though.
Yeah, I know
I think
she is.
She's really
like,
young.
Well,
she's
I think she's like 18 or 19.
I want to say I think she might be a little older than that, but regardless, she's
she's
way too young for me to say she's hot. But
yeah, she's hot. Whatever.
She is cute though. She does have that. Well, I think it's the red hair and the freckles. She's cute.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, she's cute.
And the neighbor kid.
The neighbor kid's great because he's such
hilarious.
a fucking dork.
He is a total dork. Like he's the guy that you would see like playing the church camp kid.
Yes.
Like
he's
I just
so
got back
good.
from church camp, dude. It was awesome.
He's good. Well, and the his mom is the waitress from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Who is also
married to Charlie Day.
And is hysterical in this Santa Clarita Diet. I'm just gonna say if you liked this and you at all,
right,
and you like the whole dark comedy genre with.
Check it out.
Or zombie. I'm going to say check out Santa Clarita Diet because I'd watch that before I watch this.
Yeah, it's 2 seasons on Netflix.
Yeah, and they're definitely coming out with a third.
I think a third.
I'm sure they're at least signed for a third.
At least they'd have to be because it's really good. It's pretty decent. And I love the fact that like the waitress plays a lesbian who's marrying a cop that's an uber Christian.
Right,
like just the cognitive dissonance in the whole thing is just hilarious.
Everything about it.
Like Nathan Fillion's in it.
Yeah.
And like wasn't she like the very first person that Drew Barrymore ate?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Because like she and Timothy Olyphant are like so this is gonna be a double episode. Fuck it.
A little bit of a spoiler. If you haven't watched Santa Clarita Diet,
pause this,
go
come back.
watch and whatever.
No.
Yeah.
but they
They're
play
real
real
estate
estate
agents.
agents. And like they're showing this house, and all of a sudden Drew Barrymore just like projectile vomits like the Atlantic Ocean in the fucking house
of blood in all over the freaking bedroom of this house or the bathroom of this
It was
house.
the whole house, I thought.
Like just everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
but that's
everything,
in the first episode. We're
that's
not
the first
spoiling
episode of the
anything here.
first season. So yeah, it just kind of escalates from there.
Yeah,
And then like
it's
it's almost kind of and they get like a freezer or they get a storage site.
they get a storage site.
So they're killing all these bad people. They kind of
Right.
take the Dexter approach to it, like
Which
when they were
is
killing the white
hysterical.
supremacists.
Yes.
Dude, that shit was hilarious.
I was fucking laughing my ass off. Yes, and this goes a little bit. This feels like it's going a little. Obviously, it's not resolved yet. There are only 2 seasons in. It's going to be at least the third. This feels like it's going a little different route with it. There's going to be an explanation for why she's a zombie.
Yeah, because they found another zombie.
They did find another zombie, and
Well, Nathan Fillion's character actually came back too.
Right.
And just his head. They put
Just
his head
his
on
head.
a vase.
fucking great.
Oh, my
god!
God.
And that was.
And he's like,
it's
"Look,
so
just kill
good.
me, please, just kill me."
It's so good. It is one of my favorite running series on Netflix. Like
Yeah.
when the second season came out, I watched the entire second season, no shit, in one night.
Because I think they're what 30
They're
30-minute,
30-minute
40
episodes, and I
minute
think it's like 10, 12 episodes per
Yeah.
season. It's you can watch the whole thing in a weekend,
for sure.
and it's great. But
Yeah.
all right, but back to Life After Beth. So, is this a fuck this movie, or is this a?
I'd give it a fuck yeah. I'd watch
Okay.
it. I'd watch
Yeah.
it again. It was this was the type of like horror dark comedy that I'm into. Mm-hmm. Plus Aubrey Plaza. You know.
Yeah, yeah,
And like the cast was good. I think it was well paced. You know,
Yeah.
I think the pacing of the movie was good. Like you said, the third act was completely bonkers. I will totally.
There was never a point at which I was bored. Yeah,
No, not at all. This was not one that I had to stop and rewatch later.
You didn't
Be
fall
like, holy
asleep?
fuck, the robots! No, I didn't fall asleep in this one, even though that movie was awesome as well. I thought it was a better dark comedy. It did not have any found footage in it. The cameras were nice and steady. It had good direction. The cinematography in it was fantastic.
Yes,
You know,
yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, so I would give this a fuck yeah. I'd watch this one again.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. I'd give it a fuck yeah. Not necessarily for Aubrey Plaza. I would give it a fuck yeah if for nothing else other than John C. Reilly. I thought was really, really good in this. I thought him as the dad and
He was
some
good.
of his lines with the kid were really
Mhm.
funny. I thought it was good. And like you said, I was never bored. I love the nod to the original Night of the Living Dead with the that kind of thing. And yeah, I mean it was good. It was funny. It's not. I think the 5.6 on IMDb is a little low.
A little low.
I would
I'd give it
be
a
in the
6 or
6s
7
somewhere.
maybe.
Yeah, 6.5,
6.5,
somewhere
7.
around there. I think that's about right. It's definitely from this point forward. Like every fuck yeah I give is going to have to be compared to Creep because I kind of gave Creep a fuck yeah, sort of. But I don't know. Is there a movie that I'm not going to give a fuck yeah to?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait till next week to find that out. Because next week I'm assigning you Kevin Smith's Tusk.
Okay. All right. I have. I enjoy Kevin Smith's movies. I've seen Red State, so we'll see.
And-
we'll see what Tusk is.
And all of his
that just
other-
came back out on Netflix, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It
recently?
was just recently reposted
Okay.
to Netflix. So
Okay. I like I like a lot. Well, I don't want to say all because I like most of Kevin Smith stuff that I've seen. I love obviously the
the dialogue
Jay
is
and Silent
fantastic.
Bob stuff. He's brilliant.
Dude, he's doing a reboot of Jay and Silent Bob, and it's
I know.
called Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. And basically, from everything that he's talked about, it's basically Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back again.
It's gonna be fucking
Oh,
awesome.
I can't wait.
It's gonna
I
be
can't
just
fucking wait.
awesome. But
So anyway,
All right.
this week on Netflix and Chill, I'm Reuben.
I'm Tom.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Leave Brittany alone.
It's Brittany, bitch.
It's Britney, bitch.